What's going on, guys? Matt Schaefer back with you yet again for my weekly show, Mondays with Matt. And I am so stoked to have you guys here with me tonight. What's up, everybody watching live, watching on the replay? Give me a hi as you come on. Let me know what's going on, where you're watching from. I am so excited to have you here. What's up, Brandon Palaco? Good to see you, my friend. Deetra Stone. Lovely to see you, my dear. Give me a 1. Let me know you're excited to be here. Speaker Eric Swanson, ladies and gentlemen. Give him a round of applause. Hannah Elizabeth, rock star, goddess of her own right. I'm telling you, some amazing people coming on. I'm so grateful to have you all here with me today for my weekly show, Mondays with Matt. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Matt Schaefer. I am a transformational speaker and coach. I am obsessed with helping people make shift happen in their lives, supporting people in understanding the possibilities of what's available to all of us that so many of us have forgotten about. Eric's like, keep rocking, Matt. Keep doing it, right? What's up, Ashton Harvey? Good to see you, my man. Guys, and this is my show, Mondays with Matt. This is my weekly show on personal development, transformation, all the things that make life worth living, all the things that I'm learning in real time, and I'm sharing with you in real time. I do not pretend or assume to know everything or to even know anything. I feel like the more I learn, the less I know. Can you all relate to that? The more I learn in this, Eric's calling me Chris Isaac. Is that the shirt? Or is that just the overall look? Give me a 1 if you think I look like Chris Isaac. No, we're not gonna do that. But isn't it interesting? I feel that the more I learn about myself, about life, about spirituality, about personal development, that actually the less I actually know. Like the more I learn, the more I realize I don't know. Can you guys relate to that? Give me a 1 if you could relate to that. The more I learn, the less I know. Do you like the... Like what they do with the G.I. Joes. Oh, I'm getting way off track here already. What's up, Melissa Benedetti? What's up, Gouffran Boubert? Oh, okay. Eric's giving me the thumbs up on my look tonight. I'm telling you, I feel like I'm losing my marbles a little bit, but it's okay. It's okay. Because today's topic is something that it hits really close to home. Right? It hits really close to home. And guys, if this ever resonates with you, by the way, I'd love for y'all to share this. Share this show out with your tribe. Share it with your people. Share it on your page. Let's get this information out to the world. I am obsessed with sharing this information and getting it out to as many people as possible because I've committed my life to serving the world. You know, that's what I want to do. What's up, Susan Harada Allison? Good to see you, my dear. Cassidy Coker. Oh, all my homies are on tonight. So I'm so excited to have you guys on tonight for this topic, which tell me what you think of, as I always do, right? I'm going to start off by asking you, tell me what you think of when I say the phrase, being a meaningful specific. What do you think it means to be a meaningful specific in the world? You know, like what do you think that means? This is an old Zig Ziglar quote that I heard again. Oh, Deetra shared. Thank you very much, Deetra. Appreciate it, my dear. I heard this quote again recently, and I'll tell you the full quote in a minute. But I want to ask you, what do you think being a meaningful specific in the world is? What does it mean to be a meaningful specific? Because that has a very deep resonance with me in my own journey as a light worker and as a servant, and just within the course of my own life and my own understanding of myself. And just Ashton says, I have no idea. Okay, so let me give you the full quote from Zig Ziglar. Maybe that'll help you out. So be a meaningful specific, not a wandering generality. Be a meaningful specific, not a wandering generality. Like, how could that apply to our lives? Because literally it applies to all parts of your life. I mean, when you really stop to think about it, what does it mean to be a meaningful specific versus a wandering generality? Right? Alditra shared, thank you very much. Gouffran says goal-oriented. Absolutely, Gouffran. That's a great way that we can be specific in our lives. To be goal-oriented, because if we're oriented on a goal, that means what? We have a specific intention, right? We have a specific desire. We have a specific outcome that we're committed to creating. Being goal-oriented is a great way to do it, right? And I think it's part of what Gufran's saying, and what I totally resonate with, is that if we're going to be a meaningful specific, it means we need to make a choice on what it is that we want to be good at. Because I think y'all can relate, right? That if we try to be good at everything, it's not going to work. Like, being a jack of all trades and master of none is not the way to be successful in the world that we live in today, right? Ashton says, make sure you're intentionally trying to live your life in a meaningful way. Hell yeah, Ashton. And so what does that mean? What are some different aspects of that? What does it mean to make your life meaningful? I think part of that, Ashton, is we get to really ask ourselves, what do we stand for, right? Because it's about being specific about who you are, right? I think part of being a meaningful specific in the world is knowing specifically who you are. What do you stand for? What are your values? What's your vision, right? Part of being a meaningful specific externally out there in the world is being a specific internally, right? Because here's the thing, guys, when we are operating from a space where we do not know specifically who we are or what we're about or what our pain is or what our purpose is or any of that stuff, how the hell are we supposed to help anybody else in a powerful, targeted, directed way if we don't even know who we are? You know what I'm saying? This is the value of inner work. This is the importance of us doing like targeted, focused, specific work on ourselves, is it gives us the insight and the knowledge of our own stuff that we can use to serve others. You know, your pain points, your specific pain points as an individual are your connection points with the people that you want to work with. Does that make sense? I'm literally working through this. Is fun. I love doing a topic like this where like I don't have an outline. I just love to explore this stuff with y'all in real time. So as we hone in specifically on what our pain points are, on what our understandings of ourselves are, on what's important to us, you know, and on how we want to serve others. That clarity is what allows us to really deliver a targeted message to other people, guys. Because here's another area where this whole thing of being a meaningful specific rather than a wandering generality really hits home for me, is in how you choose to communicate your message to the world. I don't care in what arena you're in. I don't care in what sort of work you're doing. If you try to be a wandering generality, Ashton says we're going to have great conversations in Dallas. Yeah, Ashton, I'm going to see you tomorrow, buddy. I'm excited about it, man. But yeah, you got to ask yourself, guys, if you try to talk to everybody, if you try to communicate to everybody, if you speak in generalities and in just, you know, just broad terms to everybody, guess who you're going to land with? Pretty much nobody. People don't want to see another pandering, overgeneralized, unspecific person trying to cater to everybody, right? If you try to catch all the fish, you're catching no fish. If you try to speak to everybody, you're speaking to nobody. I've been reading This Is Marketing by Seth Godin, which is an incredible book recommended by one of my clients. Cindy, thank you so much for recommending to me that book. Because Cindy recommended to me that book because she read an email that I had wrote, and she was like appalled by the way I was speaking, and she gave me feedback around it that I wasn't clear in who I was speaking to in the email. And as we went through it together, I realized, oh my God, I wasn't speaking specifically to the people that I want to serve, right? I was trying to be a wandering generality. I was trying to talk to everybody. But here's the thing. Everybody doesn't care about your message, and you don't want to talk to everybody. You want to talk to the specific people that you can serve, the smallest group of people that you can serve. That is the group that you want to speak to with your message. That is the key to marketing. According to Seth Godin, who, guys, just FYI, what's up, Melanie Levy, Jackie Arve, Brandon Burrow, ladies and gentlemen, Liz Childs, how you doing, guys? What's up? So yeah, guys, if we try to talk to everybody, if we try to appeal to everybody, guess what? We haven't picked a lane, and our message isn't going to land. Nothing that we say is going to make a deep impact on anybody. You get to pick your target audience. You get to pick your specific person, and you got to niche that market down to the smallest increment, and then like become so connected to them and speak to them so directly and so specifically that they cannot help but be profoundly impacted by what it is that you have to say. That's being a meaningful specific. It's knowing yourself, it's knowing your pain points, it's knowing your audience, and it's committing to serving them, right, in a powerful way, even if it polarizes and turns off other people, right? I do not try, and this is the thing, I'm not saying I'm an expert on this. This is stuff that I'm learning, right? But I do not try to speak to everybody in my Facebook Lives. If you are not conscious, if you do not have a spiritual bent, if you're a hardcore, I don't know, if you're probably a hardcore, if you're maybe like a hardcore political person, like a conservative, like that's not generally, that's not who I am, and that's not generally who I speak to. I am open to all people, and I'm open to whoever resonates with me. But if you don't resonate with me, that's fine. I don't want to be for everybody. I want to polarize people. That's something I tell as my clients are looking to do Facebook Lives, they get scared of pissing people off. Right? And part of what I do with a lot of the coaching that I do is I'm coaching people on public speaking. I'm coaching people on getting out there and doing Facebook Lives. And so a big part of what and the people are afraid of upsetting people. And I'm like, as long as you're being authentic and as long as you're being true and honest with your voice, you should be upsetting some people, or you should be at least polarizing some people, right? Because if you're polarizing people, that means you've picked a voice, a powerful voice. It means you've chosen a position. Because if you have a firm position on something, people who don't agree with that position are going to not necessarily, resonate with that. And they're going to be polarized away from you. And that's okay. Again, if you're not polarizing people, if you're not causing people to either come to your side or to get the hell away from you, then chances are you haven't picked a powerful enough position. You haven't firmly stood in your power and picked a specific enough audience, a specific enough argument, or a specific enough target customer, right? You want to be a meaningful specific, because that's how you really make a difference for people. If you try to just meander about from subject to subject and try to do this broad-based appeal to everybody, you're just gonna fall across with the noise. Trigger Tuesdays with Brandon B. Oh my God, Brandon, tell me that's a real thing, bro. Tell me that's really gonna be your show. That's hilarious. I would love that. Olga Healy, what's up, hon? How you doing? So guys, that's like the first point. Is like, so what does it mean for you to be a meaningful specific in your life? Meaningful and specific, right? And so I've talked about a couple different layers of this, what this looks like. The first is being very specific in your understanding of who you are. What do you stand for? What impact do you want to make in the world? What does it mean for you to be fulfilled? Right? What is your specific vision for the world you want to live in, for the difference you want to make, for the life that you want to have? Every morning when I get up, when I'm going through my meditation, I talk very specifically about the man I intend to become, about the relationship that I want to have, about the children that I want to have, right? About the lifestyle that I want to have. I set intentions around that every day, And again, and there's always like a duality to that, right? Because on the one hand, you want to be very specific about the person you are and what you want to create in the world. And the other side of that I think is just as important is to also practice non-attachment, right? Non-attachment. So I always like to leave it open. I like to say very specifically, these are the things I want to create in my life. These are the things I want to create with my work. This is the impact I want to have with my life. And I would love to have that or something better. I always like to leave it open, right? Because at the end of the day, we want to be very specific, we want to be very clear, we want to be very focused, and we also want to always leave the door open for something outside of our own realm of perception of what's possible. Because I think we can all agree that sometimes we do not know what's best for us. And sometimes what we think would be a great opportunity or a great blessing is actually a fraction of what is what could actually be great for us, or it might not actually be a good thing at all. That relationship you might think that you want might end up being a damn disaster, right? So like, you want to be specific and unattached about yourself, right? And about what it is that you want to create. Melissa knows what I'm talking about with that one. What's up, Courtney Dickens? How you doing, my dear? And so, guys, so that's one layer of specificity, being a meaningful specific in your relationship with yourself. And then, what does it mean to be a meaningful specific out in the world, right? It's choosing to be really good at something, right? It's choosing to master your craft. It's choosing to master whatever it is that you're good at, to be specifically good at a thing. You do not have the bandwidth to be good at everything, nor are you supposed to. You're not supposed to be good at everything. You can't do everything. That's not what you were designed to do, right? Like, think about it, like if a fish judged its self-worth by its ability to climb a tree, every fish would think that they were retarded, right? So your goal is not to try to measure your value by your ability to master everything. That would be trying to be a wandering generality. And I'm sure you know a lot of people out there who just flit from thing to thing to thing to thing to thing, doing the easy steps and then bailing when it gets hard. Give me one if you can relate to that. If you have people in your life who are like that, that is not how you make a deep, powerful, meaningful impact in the world, being kind of good at 10 things. You got to commit to something, draw a line in the sand, and say, this is what I choose to do. This is what I choose to master, based upon my understanding of myself, my understanding of who I am specifically, what my values are, what my talents are, what my passion is, what my vision is. Now I'm going to master a craft. I'm going to master an art. I'm going to master a skill that allows me to express that passion as powerfully and as deeply into the world as I can. That's how you make a meaningful, specific difference in the world, right? And so what I chose to do is I chose to use my voice. What I chose to focus on is mastering the use of my voice and my ability to communicate. That's why I went to law school. That was the start of me being on this journey, right? And so over the last 10, 15 years, I've spent a lot of hours and a lot of time and a lot of blood, sweat, and tears developing my ability to communicate effectively. Hundreds of thousands of dollars, thousands and thousands of hours of my life between law school and then all the leadership and speaking training that I've done and all the time I've spent just out in the world speaking and communicating, right? Because that is what I've decided is my contribution to humanity. So what all this craft is, guys, all this whatever skill you're learning, that's just the mechanism. That's just the channel, right? For you to express your gift, express your genius, express your brilliance, express your light into the world in a very specific, focused way. It's like a laser beam, right? I mean, imagine just the sun's rays, like a sunbeam on its own. It can be warm, right? It can be hot, but it doesn't really have a lot of heat. But then if you put a magnifying glass down under a sun ray beam, it turns it into fire, right? It turns it into a damn laser beam. That's what I'm talking about here. That's the power of being focused with what it is that you want to do and being a meaningful specific in the way that you conduct yourself in the world. So what would it look like if you took the things that you love to do and then channeled them and narrowed them down into a really powerful, deep, meaningful, specific exercise? What mechanism would you use to get there? What art? What channel would you use? Right? And just pick that and just start working at it, right? Because your entire goal in mastering a form of art or a form of expression or a skill set is for you to get yourself out of the way. You want to get so good at whatever mechanism you're working in, whether it be oil paints or speaking or freaking accounting. I mean, I don't know what you're passionate about. I don't care. I want you to be a master at whatever it is that you love so that you can serve others at the deepest level possible. But the entire goal of mastering something is so you can get out of the way, because you don't want your mechanical need to try to do it to stand between you and connecting and serving the people that you're trying to serve. Do you understand what I'm saying? That's the whole goal of mastery, is to make it like unconscious, to make it subconscious, so that there's nothing standing between you and the expression of your genius. Yeah, like this is very, 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 very important. And Tati has a great contribution here. I caught the conversation while it was going, but I believe the best way to be a meaningful specific is recognizing yourself first with the classic questions: who I am, why am I here? Basically, nothing happens by chance. Exactly. If you're living an intentional, focused, specific life, then nothing does happen by chance. Everything is happening and unfolding for you. Energy flows where attention goes. As you take all that passion and energy and you master your craft at whatever it is that you want to do, whether it be real estate or tax law or being a speaker or being a coach or whatever it is, the better you get at it, the more powerful of a conduit and a channel you are in the world with it. Give me a one if this is relating to you guys. Give me a one if this resonates. I know Brandon gets it. Brandon gave me the boom. I love it. Brandon is obsessed with mastering his craft. I know he is. He's out there. He's doing public speaking. He's coaching. He's got a baby. He's got shit on the line. Brandon has put his money where his mouth is with this work. And it's nice to connect with somebody else who's walking the talk and owning and living this work in the world. It's incredible. Melissa is walking the talk. She is. She's out there doing it, right? She's doing this work and she's coachable. So that's what I'm saying, guys. Being a meaningful specific means getting out of the way of your ego. It means taking your ego out of the equation, right? Because your ego doesn't want you to go so deep into any one thing. Your ego wants you to stay where you're comfortable. Your ego wants you to stay, one toe in 5 or 8 or 10 different things and then to quit. Right? Because if you go too deeply into any one thing, guess what happens? You transform into a deeper, more powerful version of yourself. And when that happens, a part of your ego dies. So your ego don't like that. Your ego doesn't want you to transform and shift into a completely different version of yourself. That's why so many people stay wandering generalities, because they're trapped in their comfort zone. They're trapped in, they go through that initial stage, that initial honeymoon phase where you discover something new, you get kind of good at it, and then the moment it gets hard, you're out, right? That's the key is, guys, to realize that if we're slaves to our comfort zone, if we're slaves to, just going into the shallow end of the pool and then jumping back out before the water gets too deep, you're never going to make a difference. You're never going to grow and evolve as deeply as you could. And the scary part is you don't have to. You don't have to. This is the beauty of our lives, guys, is that we all have a choice. You have a choice on whether or not you can go dive deeply into your purpose, deeply into your understanding of yourself, face your demons, face your ego, and push through and then serve the world at a deep, powerful, profound level. You can do that. That is an option. Or you cannot. You can spend your entire life being a wandering generality. You can spend your entire life in the shallow end of the kiddie pool and then die, not having made an impact, not having figured yourself out. And on your deathbed, you'll be laying there and you'll be thinking, was this it? Was this all that this was? Because that's pretty, and like for me, that was a terrifying prospect that's been a terrifying prospect for me my whole life. The danger of a half-lived life. The thought that I could leave this earth not having given the deepest expression of what it is that I've been put here to give. I can't fathom doing it myself personally. But the fact that you guys are watching, I'm assuming that you're kind of on the same page with me on this, right? You guys understand that we are not here to play 40% or 50% or 60%. We're here to be all fucking in, right? We're here to give 120%, everything we have and then some. So when we look back on our lives, even before the end of our lives, when we look back on our lives 5 years from now, we can be like, wow, I can't even recognize who I was 5 years ago. Because we've been growing and evolving and transforming so fast that like even, hell, I don't even know who I was a year ago, a year and a half ago. You know, and I'm not bragging. I'm just saying that when you live in a continual state of commitment towards being a meaningful specific rather than a wandering generality, you kind of, you live in like a vortex of sort of growth and expansion and progression and evolution, energetically, cognitively, emotionally, spiritually. It's like you get on this, you know how you're at the airport and there's that walkway, that automated walkway, and you get on it, and if you start like normally people walk and they're walking at a certain speed, but if you walk while you're on that moving walkway, you're going like 3 times faster than everybody else. That's what it's like to move through life as a meaningful specific. It's like you're on the fast track. And you're simultaneously delving deeper into yourself and serving everybody around you at a deeper level too. And that's what's been so profoundly rewarding to me is, as someone who is committed to being a specific person, living with specific purpose and specific focus to help others, is the more I do it and the deeper I go into it, the more powerful and profound the feedback is that I get from other people, you know? And I mean, that's what I want to do. That's all I want to do with my life, you know? And I invite each and every one of you to this is the Matt Challenge, by the way, for this week, is to look at your life and ask yourself, where am I being a meaningful specific? And then in other parts of my life, where am I being a wandering generality? And what am I avoiding? In the areas of my life where I'm being a wandering generality, what am I afraid of? Why am I afraid of being specific? What is the fear that I'm facing? That's a really big question to ask yourself. Where are you being a generality because you're avoiding pain, because you're avoiding fear? And what is that fear? What would be possible for you if you moved past it? I'll be honest with you, where a big fear of mine has been. I have had a deep fear of really picking a niche in terms of my coaching, right? In terms of the people that I want to serve as a coach. I've had a very hard time. I've always been like, I want to be a transformational coach for everybody, you know? But when I looked back, but here's the thing, guys. If you're a coach for everybody, you're a coach for nobody. And so I've really been thinking and feeling into this as to who I am meant to serve as a coach. And I realized that what I was afraid of doing, I was afraid of picking a niche because I didn't want to alienate any potential clients or any potential people. And I'm like, that's ridiculous, you know? Like, pick a niche, pick to serve a niche, and you're going to help a lot more people than if you try to serve everybody and everybody's like, oh, he's not really talking to me. So I'll tell you, I'll declare it. I will declare it on this show to y'all right now. But I mean, my niche, the niche of humanity that I have chosen to work with and that I have had such profound joy working with are powerful women, are women who are conscious, women who have achieved a level of professional success, women who have, they've got portions of their life really dialed in, right? And they want to grow and they want to expand in the way that they experience relationship with themselves, relationship with friends, relationships romantically. They want to grow and expand in areas of human connection, right? And because the greatest coaching, the most, like Melissa Benedetti, case in point. Aaron Whiff, case in point. Cindy Pavana, case in point. Tess Rogers, case in point. I mean, I've worked with so many profound women, and as I'm sitting here asking myself, well, who do I want to serve? It's like it came to me like I'm already serving them, right? Not that I haven't enjoyed working with men, not that I haven't enjoyed working with other people, but the people who light my heart up, the people who I just could not possibly, I get so much fulfillment out of serving as a coach are women like Melissa. are women like Erin Whipp, who I am shocked is not watching tonight, but I'm sure she's on a hot date or something because she's been doing a lot of that lately, and we're very proud of her for that. But it's women who are conscious and they're powerful and they're amazing, and they just want to like deepen their relationships with themselves, with their friends, romantically, and in all areas of their lives. That's what I love to do, and Melissa, I'm so proud of you. Brandon, I'm glad this resonates with you, buddy, because this is huge for me. It's huge for me to declare a niche. Never done it before. I've had a lot of fear around it, right? So, but that's me being a meaningful specific. This is me living this, right? Is me declaring to you guys right now, this is the audience that I choose to serve as a coach, right? And so that being said, if you have someone in your life that fits that category, right? A woman in your life who's powerful, who's dynamic, who's vibrant, but who, wants to work on relationships. Maybe relationships at work, relationships with family, relationships with friends, relationships in terms of dating, or a relationship with herself. It all starts with your relationship with self. Truly, at the end of the day, that is who I love to serve. And so if you or someone you know, if you guys fit that description and you want to make shift happen in your life, talk to me, shoot me a line, because I would love to explore if working with you is a great fit. Because I am looking to take on a couple more clients coming into this first quarter of the year. So let me know. That being said, guys, what does this look like in your life? I just did a real-time example. What's up, Nicole Tatlock? Good to see you, my dear. What does this look like in your life? Where can you be a meaningful specific? In the people you want to serve, in your understanding of yourself, in your vision for your life, in the difference you want to make. Because bottom line, as a wandering generality, you're never going to make the difference you could. You're never going to achieve your highest possibility. You're going to be part of the noise of a bunch of people living in fear, living in scarcity, giving a vanilla message to appeal to everybody, and at the end of the day, deeply connecting with no one. And that is not what I want for any one of you. What's up, Sandra Pascal? Good to see you, my dear. Cassidy, thank you so much. Guys, give me a 1 if you're committed to looking at your life and really identifying where you're being specific, where you're being a meaningful specific, and where you're being a wandering generality. Because there is you can't do it. If you want to transform your life, if you want to transform the world, you get to be a meaningful specific in the world. Targeted, focused, intentional, conscious, self-aware, powerful, a magnifying glass in the sun, creating a laser beam of love, light, and transformation in the world. That is what you get to be. That is what leadership is. Bottom line, guys, that's what it's all about. And so I hope if this resonated with you, please share this. Please let's get this out there, and let's inspire other people to stop avoiding, to stop hiding behind generalities from who they actually are, from the difference they could possibly make. So many people hide behind being busy, behind being general, behind being, trying to please everybody. And in doing so, they just become background noise, and they fade into oblivion. And I'm not willing to let any of y'all do that. So if you're curious, like ask me now or after the show ends. Ask me what would being specific look like in my life. If you're having issues with it, I'll talk to you about it. Okay? And let's just commit to being uniquely, powerfully ourselves in whatever our expression is in the world. Because that's the only way that we're going to be in full ownership of our art and in full ownership of our genius. And we're going to help the people that we were specifically designed to help. You were specifically created to put forth a very specific gift in the world. You were. But it's going to take you having the courage to own that shit. It's going to take you having the courage to be willing to shut off and shut down and push away all the things that are not that thing, and put your friggin' stake in the ground and say, this is who I am, this is what I'm here to do, and you know what? Everybody else is just going to have to wait, and they're just going to have to deal with it because I know who I am and I know what I stand for. And I know the difference I want to make in the world, and I will stop at nothing to achieve it. That's being a meaningful specific. And I challenge each and every one of you to see what that looks like in your life and how you're going to create it this week. Deal? Deal. All right, awesome. Well, guys, this has been fun, and I love you all dearly, but I got some work to do as a meaningful specific in this world. So to everybody who's been watching, Cassidy, Melissa, Jordan, Nicole, Sandra, Brandon, Tati, Mike SD, Yadi, and all the other amazing people who have been watching, I love you guys dearly. I hope this resonated with you. Let me know, shoot me a message. Let me know in the comments what being a meaningful specific means to you, how you're gonna implement this stuff in your life and in the world. And if you or anyone you know is that kind of powerhouse, amazing, woman that I spoke into, that woman she's got her career stuff, she's got it working for her, and she wants to work on her relationships with herself, with her friends, with her family, and romantically, and is a conscious, incredible woman, let's connect. I love you guys dearly. Please have a wonderful week, and I will see you next week on Mondays with Matt. Lots of love to you guys, and have a great, great, great week. Alrighty, talk to you later. Bye-bye.